Hello again. So we'll probably have to do a few parts here, which is great. Let's go as long as we can. But what else did you want to add to that before I get back to the questions?
Well, I like the idea of the paradox that you mentioned. That I'll put this in terms of my own experience with this. That I don't give in order to get. Now that's not what I used to do, and I think that that's really why I got into trouble in my life. And it was difficult at the time, but I know you know this, and I can't think of the phrase, but I know that there are many. I can't think of a particular phrase right now, but our greatest growth and our greatest blessings spring out of some of the hardest and most difficult times in our lives that we face. And so the setbacks that I did face several years ago, what sprung out of that was the blessing of this to be able to get me back onto track and to realize how important it is to give and to bring my life back into balance by giving. And the paradox is that now I'm not giving in order to get. And so I think that so when we give freely, I think that is unconditional giving. We're not expecting anything in return. But the paradox is that the universe will supply to us abundantly.
Absolutely. And I've got a quote here that I think speaks to what you talked about, your blessing in disguise, by Rilke. Perhaps all the dragons of our lives are princesses who are only waiting to see us once beautiful and brave.
I love it. Yeah, very good.
I like that very much too. And Charles C. West has one of my favorite quotes. We turn to God for help when our foundations are shaking, only to learn that it is God who is shaking them.
Oh, yes. Well, and also what's interesting in that one is that we turn to God and we turn to the divine when our foundations are shaking. And we sometimes forget to turn to God when everything's going great.
Yep.
Right?
Right. Well, let's get into give away $1 a day. What exactly is give away $1 a day?
So how does it work and how do you do it?
Yes. How does someone start doing it? What is it?
Okay. So it's what give away $1 a day is I like to say that it's just like it sounds. You give away $1 every day, and I think that there are a couple of important pieces to that. First of all, there's real power in doing something every day. When you do it every day and you make the commitment to do it and you keep it going for a while, you soon develop a habit. Whether it's 21 days of consistent behavior to develop a new habit, or 1 month, or 90 days, or whatever the experts come together to agree on, we all know that when we do something for enough days in a row, that it eventually becomes a habit. And that's when the transformation internally starts to take place. So be sure, if you want to begin give away $1 a day, make the commitment to do it every day. There's another thing that I think is really important, and I realized this almost from the beginning. Do it with joy. Have fun doing it. Phil, I'm a businessman. I'm a corporate executive, and I deal with I'm in executive sales, and I deal with vice presidents and directors and CEOs, and it sometimes feels a little funny that I have this alter ego, this secret dollar man who goes around and gives away dollars, and most of the time I'm doing it anonymously, which means I'm hiding dollars or doing it in real stealth mode. And what's funny is doing that while I'm spending most of my day as a businessman. And some people have asked me, well, how do you do that? And doesn't that kind of go counter? And I said, well, yes, it does. Because in the business world, we're all supposed to be real serious and cutthroat and shark-like and everything. But what's so beautiful about this is that I'm at least guaranteed that one part of my day I'm going to have a ton of joy come in by being able to give away $1. It's almost like I get to act like a little kid in that moment, just hiding $1 for somebody else. So do it every day. Have fun doing it. I always do it. I always do it in a public place, and the reason I do that is because I want somebody to find it. I want another person to find it and benefit from it. Whether they just benefit from the surprise of finding $1, because I really believe that no matter what our economic status, no matter what our gender, no matter our social status, whenever we find $1, I think we all get a little charge out of it. Because we remember what it was like when we found money when we were a little kid. Mm-hmm. So that's why I always do it in a public place, because I want somebody to find it, and I want somebody to have that charge and that surprise. And the other thing that I do is I most of the time I do it anonymously. And again, the reason that I do that is because I want someone else to be surprised by it. And I'll tell you, I have to share this one with you too. My wife has been doing this just about as long as I have, because she loved it when she first heard about it. And lately, she has been taking either $1's worth of quarters, or sometimes she'll take $1 and roll it up, and she'll put it in like a little a bag. That's not the right word for it. It's like a linen kind of thing, and then she'll put a bow around it, and that's what she goes and hides those in places like in stores or out in public places. So when somebody finds that, they absolutely know that was put there intentionally, because somebody went to the trouble of doing that, rather than just seeing $1 dropped on the floor, which may look like an accident or may look like it fell out of somebody's pocket. So when they see one of these things that she has left, they realize that somebody's really gone to the trouble to kind of spread some prosperity and spread some joy for somebody else to receive.
I like that. That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. Let me speak to one more thing. When you said you don't expect anything back, yes, that's absolutely the way it should be and needs to be, because true giving has no ulterior motives. You do it because it's the right thing to do. Now, subconsciously, you know that your generosity will be karmically rewarded, but that knowledge in no way influences your actions. You just do it for the joy and because it's the right thing to do.
Right. I think that's true. And I have been doing it for, I think, when did I start this? August. I started this August of 2007, so I'm getting close to 2 years that I've been doing this. And I'm human, and I am still aware that there are those, that I still have those thoughts of, am I doing this because I want this particular thing to happen, or because I want this to come back to me? But what I think is beautiful now is that I have a really heightened awareness around that, so that when those thoughts do come in, when those still human thoughts do come in around that, I've got the awareness of it, and I can realize, there's that again. And what I really want to do is get back to the place where I'm just doing this unconditionally, as an unconditional gift.
That's great. And actually, when we give away $1 like that, we are getting something out of it. We're getting the pleasure of imagining somebody finding it and imagining them getting a charge out of it. And that's something that is pleasurable to us.
Sure. I get joy knowing that I am creating a joyful moment for somebody else when they come to find it.
Right. I mean, a few years ago, for a while, I brought I had on in my pocket a bunch of baseball card packs. And whenever I see a little kid, I'd give one to them with their parents' permission, and their eyes would light up. Because when I was a kid, if someone gave me a pack, oh my God, that would have made my day. And it was fun seeing the kids look so excited and happy. So
sure.
It's fun to do.
Yeah,
well,
that's great.
Let's end this part because we're nearing the 10-minute limit. Call me back again. We'll do part 3 and get into some of the specifics.
Okay, sounds good.